This is a very interesting conversation. When I was looking forward to is comparing AVID and the College Planning Cohort curriculum and what they offer. I will say that AVID, in its entirety, and I've done it through um, 2 out of my 4 years of high school. But with that being said, I can fully understand the entirety of the curriculum, doing it in my senior year and my sophomore year. But with those 2 years alone, I was able to understand almost everything AVID can offer. With AVID, their primary goal is to get you thinking about the college conversation and get you to start putting yourself in those shoes and perspective of how am I going to get ready for college? How am I going to pay for college? And while yes, I can say Avid does notify you of very common scholarship opportunities. Bright Futures is one of the most well-known scholarship and financial aid programs in Florida, and almost every student in my school knows about it. And I guarantee you, almost every student in this county knows about Bright Futures, which is mostly because it's been talked about and told to these students time and time and time again, especially those who cannot afford college, and even those who can, with their parents lightening the loan and the debt, etc. But Avid just doesn't see the entirety of the college conversation, the entirety of the post-secondary conversation. They're on a level which I'll categorize as like a level two. They're on such a conversation and level where they'll get you your mindset ready, your ideas prepared. But once again, if you're not putting the work in, then you won't know about these programs. But it feels such like a beginner understanding and course when it comes to college. When you compare it to the cohort, which gives you and any student a holistic and a higher level of understanding of this post-secondary conversation, which I'll be honest, it even gives you a higher on average understanding of this conversation than a lot of other faculty, parents, and adults in the Pinellas County school system. You, with the cohort's understanding and their practice and their knowledge and the rigorous research, you grow to understand that college and university isn't just a one-way street of graduate high school, go to a four-year university, work a job with your degree, and move on. That it is nowhere near that simple, and it is much more complex. Not only in the type of university you can go to, but the programs that each university provides, specialized for varieties of types of students. Not only just liberal arts, research, trade schools, just being able to understand that you have so many opportunities, so many various types of schools that will provide for you already gives you a leg up on anyone else who does not know about it and anyone who is not preparing for it. And that's one of the biggest words and differences between AVID and a cohort. Preparation. AVID, like I said, level two preparation. And starting from the beginning of high school, or even earlier, middle school, but beginning of high school, realistic for a lot of students, and pushing yourself every year, following the plan bit by bit. You get yourself to a point where you're not worried about any of the other things these other students are worried about. You have a focused plan, an understanding, and an execution. And that's why I personally, the cohort was just one of the best opportunities. And this transition is, I think, definitely in the cohort, at least, and among friends that know about the cohort, is I'm a bit famous for is my transition from not doing wanting a hard course load and, like you said, pushing myself to that higher level. And I will say confidently that this sprouts from just taking into account the research done and the extensive resumes and applications that viewing other students going into these higher level universities and realizing that if you, any individual, wants this experience and wants to compete for these colleges, you have to elevate yourself. And that starts with taking a harder course load. And doing that may not be, it's not easy for everyone. And it wasn't easy for me, but I truly wanted to bring myself to a higher level. And to do that, I needed to take higher level courses. Also, I understood when I was taking, at least freshman year, taking my first couple courses that one or two AP classes, I only had one AP class, I believe, in freshman year, wasn't enough. And the other honor level classes that wasn't enough for me. So as I kept going sophomore and junior year, I kept increasing my course load because I knew I could handle more than this. As long as I applied myself and didn't overextend in one area, I could handle this. And so by junior year, taking 5 AP classes, well, yes, it was hard. It was extremely gratifying. And I'm personally someone who enjoys the rigor of being able to push myself through because I knew the end goal. I knew what I wanted to get to. So this was only per se a means to an end, but also trying to develop my own work ethic was super valuable, especially moving on to the college and higher level education, being able to craft this efficiency and understanding where my weaknesses are and where my strengths are completely revitalize myself and my energy preparing and pushing forward to that post-secondary education.